नमस्कार। साहित्य अकादमी के साहित्य मंच कार्यक्रम में आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है, अभिनंदन है। मित्रों, आज के कार्यक्रम में हमने बहुभाषी कहानी पाठ और कविता पाठ का कार्यक्रम रखा है और हमारे साथ इस कार्यक्रम की अध्यक्षता करने के लिए ओडिया के प्रतिष्ठित लेखक श्री संग्राम मिश्र जी मौजूद हैं और इस कार्यक्रम में असमिया से डॉक्टर रत्नोत्तमा दास, अंग्रेजी से डॉक्टर अनीता मल्होत्रा और पंजाबी से श्री राजेंद्र नियाला जी हमारे बीच मौजूद हैं, जो अपनी कहानी और कविताओं का पाठ करेंगे। मित्रों, साहित्य अकादमी का यह कार्यक्रम ऑनलाइन भी साहित्य अकादमी के यूट्यूब चैनल पर प्रसारित हो रहा है और वहाँ जो दर्शक हमारे इस कार्यक्रम से जुड़े हैं उन सब का भी मैं स्वागत करता हूँ, अभिनंदन करता हूँ और उनसे अनुरोध करता हूँ कि कार्यक्रम के लिंक को आप अपने जो सोशल मीडिया है उससे शेयर करें ताकि दूसरे लोग भी इस कार्यक्रम का आनंद उठा सकें। और आज के इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे बीच आप सब जो लोग मौजूद हैं यहाँ इस कार्यक्रम को सुनने के लिए आप लोगों का विशेष रूप से आभार, क्योंकि जिस तरह से बाहर गर्मी का मौसम है और दूसरे तरह की स्थितियाँ बनी हुई हैं, आज के समय में साहित्य को प्राथमिकता के आधार पर सुनने समझने के लिए लोगों की कमी होती जा रही है। तो आप लोगों का जो हमें सहयोग मिलता है हमारे कार्यक्रमों में, आपकी उपस्थिति से हमें जो प्रोत्साहन मिलता है वह हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा संबल है। मैं हमारे अध्यक्ष श्री संग्राम मिश्रा जी का एक संक्षिप्त परिचय देना चाहूँगा कि Senior Indian Administrative Service Officer, has been outstanding in his ventures as a poet, lyricist, public speaker, journalist and columnist. He is a poet and writer of international repo and his books have been translated into French, Norwegian and Spanish languages. He is the editor of a fortnightly English newspaper, The Panoramic Viewpoint, and editor-in-chief of the new channel Panorama News India. तो आरंभ में सबसे पहले मैं अनुरोध करूँगा हमारे अध्यक्ष श्री संग्राम मिश्रा जी से कि वे दो शब्द कहें, उसके बाद हम पाठ का कार्यक्रम आरंभ करेंगे। श्री संग्राम मिश्रा जी।
Yeah. When the warlike situation pervades everywhere, the placidity maintains here. That is the power of literature. Unfolding moments under literary elegance. The congregation of erudite luminaries manifests the people's penchant for the literature, and the aroma of literary vibes has imbued the ambience. I welcome all. Thanks to Sahitya Akademi for organizing this kind of literary forums, or they should go on organizing this kind of fora so that literature is spread. It spreads happiness, it enlightens people, it raises the awakening and it educates society. And at any critical juncture, be it a warlike situation or be it a situation of placidity, serenity, tranquility, bliss, whatever you tell it, literature rules the roost. I will just read a quotation of C.S. Lewis. It is, it doesn't simply describe it. I mean, literature doesn't simply describe it. It irrigates deserts that our lives have become. Our life has become dull, drab and dreary. We are facing this kind of problem. The more we advance, the more the problematic. And C.S. Lewis tells, it is in a desert. There is no drop of water. literature is like the drops. It is a oasis. The Kushioneka provides the water. So I will not take much time. This is my initial address, I have told. Now I think many scholars, poets, writers, some of them I know, some of them I don't know, and they have come. Ratnottama Das, Assamese, Rita Malhotra, then Sumit Chaturvedi is not coming for some reason or other. Rajinder Biala, Punjabi. So these all people will go for their poetry and story reading. I hope that if they are reading in Punjabi or other things, a little synopsis, Hindi I can understand. So a little synopsis so that at the end I can summarize in a succinct manner, I will tell that. So this is the thing, and one by one, and at last I will read one or two of my Odia poetry and one or two English, because I write in English also. So that is the thing. Now I should request straight away.
I will introduce.
You will request. Okay, now I give it to the Deputy Secretary of Sahitya Akademi. Am I correct? So he will call one of her and we will start.
Thank you very much, sir. Now may I request Dr. Ratnottama Das, who is an Assamese writer, scholar, and currently working as a professor in the Department of Modern Indian Languages
You will
and
read a story.
Literary Studies, Delhi University. She has 10 published books to her credit, including 3 critically acclaimed novels besides regular published columns in newspaper, literary journals, and magazines. Her novel, Segun Pator Puri, has adopted as an Assamese TV serial under the same name, with more than 100 episodes being telecasted. She is the recipient of Travel Grant Scheme of Sahitya Akademi and a prestigious state-level recognition by Jeevan Guwahati. She will read her short story in English translation. Dr. Ratnottama Das.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the generous introduction. I'm Ratnottama. I write under the name Ratnottama Das Vikram. Yes, I teach in Delhi University, and I love creative writing, and I do the academic stuff also. Of course, the academic stuff I write in English, but creative writing, my first and foremost, always first choice is in my own language, that is Assamese. I write poetry too, but today I have decided to read one story as I am requested to. Mostly I write prose, short stories and novels in Assamese. So as Sir said, this is the war-like situation. It was inside my mind, and I was thinking to read a story from this book, which is like how to tell a story of an insurgency, but it's already, I see the time. So I thought of reading another story, which was originally obviously written in Assamese. Later, it was published also in one reputed Assamese literary magazine. Later, it was published by one Professor Subhajit Bhadra, and it was also published in English in one online magazine. But the story is little older, not like the new one. But please allow me to read that story. I'll be very happy if you like listening. The story is written in first person narrative, and the first person narrator is a wife of a doctor, which actually in real life I am, but it has nothing to do with my real life, because the story was written much before I got married, and or maybe little before I got married. And in this story, one character appears, the doctor's wife or the narrator's daughter, the only child. The daughter's name is Nihar. Coincidentally, my PhD scholar Nihar Khanna is there, but again she is like my child, of course, is my student. But of course there is nothing to do with her name, because it was written much before she enrolled under PhD under me. And I don't have a daughter, I have a son only. Anyway, without taking much of your time, I'd love to take you to my world of clear creativity, to the story. Of course, it is translation I'm repeating, so the original essence. I don't know how much you will get. I don't know how much I'll be able to make you happy, but I will try. The original title of the story, Roi Zoa Khori. Roi Zoa Khori.
What is the English?
The English is the watch on her wrist. The translated version, it was like the time that was stagnant, but it sounds a little bit not so poetic to me. So this is my version, the watch on her wrist. You will know the story why it is watch on her wrist. And when we say Roi Zoa Khori, in Hindi Khori has two meanings. One is ghari, the one I am wearing, and one is ghari, the pal, the moment. It actually speaks about the moment. It also tells about one particular watch. You will know at the end of the story. So let me begin. The story is divided into 4 parts. Each part has a subheading, and it's not very long. It starts with 1. A set of dialogues? No. It's a preamble to a true story. It begins with a conversation. What? Spot date? Oh yes. A truck knocked him, perhaps. He himself knocked against a truck. The truck did not stop by. The boy was lying somewhere else, and the bike was lying somewhere else on the roadside. And reportedly been lying for a long time. Then the police came, and then, oh my God, oh shit, what? Such a young boy just lay like that on the roadside. Oh yes. You were telling something about police? What did you say? Did the police come later, or they reached on time? But the question is, why should Mr. Sankakuti gift a bike to a boy who is newly sprouted beard, who was admitted to a college just a few days ago? What was the need to give him a bike? Oh, it's not about the bike. It's the pride of wealth, my dear, it's the pride. Do you follow? It attracts even the most indifferent person. Almighty knows all. But for all that, such a young boy, wait a bit. To stop them all, you know what happened? The wallet was in his pocket. The expensive iPhone and the waist belt, all were missing when the dead body was handed over to the family. The first one, the conversation ends here. Then we move to the second part, to the oscillating pendulum and dusty time.
This is the same story.
This is the same story, it continues. The oscillating pendulum and the dusty time. The original was actually Duli Thoka pendulum aru Thuliori homoy. It's very difficult to translate, but it is the loose translation, as I said, oscillating pendulum and the dusty time. Now the story, the first person narrator, as I said, the doctor's wife, she starts narrating the story. There had been too much of dust. The layers of dust were found everywhere. My picture-shaped, neatly kept tanpura that looked like the skin of the well-kept horses of the polo ground gathered a fine layer of dust. With the achal of a sari, with the end of my dupatta, I wipe it off and caress with my hands. Nevertheless, a layer of dust has stuck on the oil body of my tanpura. Oh my tanpura, oh my adorable peacock, how long I have not played it, how long it did not get back to life with the magic touch of my hands. Oh ma, you too, why do you call your tanpura a peacock and hug it? You can call it a kuli, a kuko. It's a songbird, not a peacock. No, it has been quite a long since my little Nihar spoke like this. Her words like this used to spread a wide smile on my face that shone like the daylight. Hugging my little one and having showered a kiss on her, I said, "This is my songbird. You are my songbird, Nihar. But how long has it been since Nihar stopped singing? Where did she sing for the last time? Was it in some program in her medical college? When? How many days ago? How many months passed away? I don't even hear the humming sound of my little songbird these days. She has become sincere over the time. She has been growing more and more mature day by day. And Ohim? Where has he been going over the time? The other day, I was cleaning his rack of old books. I touched the old books one by one. His handwriting is very familiar to me as his hands. I knew his letters that tilted towards the right, and with this he wrote his name and the date of purchasing the books. In some places, he wrote my special name, which he only would call me. Before another small wave of smile that spread across my face, Ohim entered and raised an outcry. What the hell are you doing? Oh my God, all this dust and dust everywhere? All this junk of old books? Why should you do this all by yourself? All this useless stuff. Stop cleaning, stop dusting, please. I wanted to show him. Ohim, look here. This is Huxley's The Brave New World. You remember you gave it to me much before the arrival of our Nihar. And look at this one. Look, I gifted you this book. No. I did not say anything to him. Neither had the willingness to speak nor to show anything. Somewhere inside my mind, somewhere in an innermost corner of my mind, each word kept on knocking again. Junk of old books, useless sob. How I wished the uncomfortable oscillation of the words to stop, only if I could. The oscillation of a pendulum stops only when its velocity is reduced to zero. The intensity and its speed and the velocity of a word that knocks my mind are so immense. It is very powerful indeed. Will the oscillating period of this will be eternal? Such a word or to keep on oscillating like a pendulum inside my mind these days. And the shape of the pendulum is like of a hammer. Two sharp nails lying at the both ends and keep on oscillating continuously. I wish it gets distracted from its path of oscillation. It is an age of machines, of an imaginary future period, as it is mentioned in Huxley's story. Two different worlds, two different eras. Do Ohim, Nihar and I live in the same era, in the same world? I don't understand much of their conversations. Both the father and the daughter speak very little these days. Do they have the time to talk? Even if they have time, they are not in a mood to talk. Rather, they are tired all the time. I do not understand it clearly, whether it is their tiredness in their bodies or in their minds. The book of Huxley that Ohim gifted me much before the arrival of Nihar appeared to me that it turned to an ash-colored bird suddenly and flew away, flapping its heavy wings just before my eyes. It seemed as if the flock of ash-colored unknown birds followed it. That one is Shishir Kobita, the first gift I gave to Asim. Those are Ohim's paint brushes. Oh, that one is the first woolen cap of Nihar. Ohim used to keep this cap as a treasure. And look at this, that is my favorite peacock, my tanpura. It flew away, it also flew away. All other colorful birds of the flock have turned ash-colored, all grey, and all the birds flew away just in front of my mind. The soft plumage of the birds were flying in the air. There were specks of dust and dust all around me. It has been very dusty indeed. There are specks of dust all over the place. Does the bed shared by Ohim and myself also covered with the layers of dust? Having taken 2 classes in the midday and having entered the room, those thoughts flashed in my mind. The dryness of my throat after taking 2 subsequent classes suddenly went away. I forgot even to change my class. I went straight to our bedroom and I touched and felt the bed cover repeatedly. I made some furtive glances over the blue bed sheet along with white flowers on it. But I could not decide. Are there any specks of dust there? I was not sure. I dragged the long white bed cover and started shaking it vigorously like an insane person. Suddenly, Ohim's medical journal slipped and fell on the ground. Oh, Ohim was reading the journal, having lit the bedside light last night. He hardly gets time these days to read any of the books. Suddenly I sensed, perhaps he stayed awake until late last night. What was he doing? Was he reading medical journal? Did he look at my pale and lazy face, which has been drawn towards sleep? Did he look at me when I was sleeping? Did he remove some strands of my unkempt hair from my cheeks and my forehead? Did he adjust the clothes I wore? Did he? I can't remember properly. I can't remember anything. Perhaps he did, perhaps he didn't. Perhaps he went to sleep without switched off the bedside lamp and dragging the cloth over his neck. He has hospital duty early in the morning. I was sleeping there. I was there by his side, or I was not there. Okay, what did I cook for a meal last night? Do I remember? Yes, I remember. It was a preparation of chicken with black pepper. That is the favorite Assamese dish for both Ohim and Nihar. The leg pieces of the chicken are their most favorite part, and I served them on bowls. I can remember it clearly while they were munching the legs of chicken last night on dinner table. They were discussing which patient expired for what reasons. They were discussing duty, they were discussing hospitals. Blood was oozing out of the body of the woman profusely. It sprayed on the white marble floor of our of the hospital, and she died primarily due to the lack of blood. They were discussing, and I was as if looking at the blood on our kitchen floor. But blood could not be obtained in time. Ohim commented apathetically on the government medical college, and Nihar said, and you know, Deuta is dad or father in Assamese. You know, Deuta, afterwards the blood stains could not be removed from my white apron and the kurta I was wearing. I gave it to the laundry, but Deuta, you know, I forget about the apron, my beautiful kurta. I don't know what prompted me to wear that white kurta on that day. You know, Papa, that my kurta, my head was reeling. Nihar was going on telling about her beautiful white kurta, which was stained with blood of the dead patient. I saw the bowls of chicken curry on the dinner table contained blood and blood only. Having chewed and cooked legs of the chicken, Ohim and Nihar continued talking certain cases without any discomfort. To them, the patients were not humans, they were cases. Each of them was a case. Their words shared hitting the two ends of the nails plunked deep inside my head. A pendulum was oscillating continuously like a hammer. What was the time? What was the time? Was the time stagnant? Was the time paused? It was 10 at night, right? Was it dark outside? I can't remember anything. I started looking at the clock hanging on the wall in front of me. to know what was the actual time at that moment. Was time moving or was it paused? I looked at a beautiful wall clock that was gifted by some talkative medical representative. Suddenly, I saw the clock in a different way. It was gradually becoming twisted, flat, and big in shape. Was it the reason that Ohim and Nihar became worried and restless? Both of them become worried and take care of me at the slightest excuses at that time, and when I least felt the necessity of being taken care of. Some questions were oscillating in my mind like a pendulum. But no, I did not ask them. Don't you have any feelings when a patient expires? Don't you feel anything when someone's pulse is lying within the fold of your hands? Stop at a point of time. Don't you feel anything at all? Don't you feel anything? How can you eat chicken curry after coming back from your duty? Last night, I left my dinner half eaten. I didn't know when Ohim had slept. I did not know where Nihar was standing or not. I didn't know whether Ohim had looked at my adolescent face that was drawn towards my overpowering tendency to sleep. Did he remove a stand of unkempt hair from my face? Did he adjust the clothes? Did he or he did not? Again, I shook the bedsheet with force and spread it on the bed. Oh wow, what is this? A photograph? Where did it fall from? Did it fall from Ohim's medical journal? Was it lying near Ohim's pillow? Did it fall off when I shook the bed cover? I picked up the photograph on my palm. Who is this woman carrying a baby on her lap? Who is her? Her face was glowing with a small smile, soft smile. The cherubic child wearing a woolen cap was looking in absolute amazement. It was perhaps on the flash of the camera in front of her. The woman was wearing a sari with floral design, which looked like a flower, bright and fresh. I touched the photograph softly with my fingers. When and from where did Ohim take this out? Isn't it my small singing birdie wearing her first woolen cap that was knitted by myself? With the wool that had been brought by Ohim, it seemed as if Nihar in the photograph was looking at me and giggling. The toddler Nihar could make some giggles all the time, and she could burst into laughter till she had a hiccup. I closed my eyes. I felt that my eyes were moist. I touched the photograph again. It was clicked by Ohim long back. There was no trace of any speck of dust on it. The third part, I'll not read it, just to save some time, I will tell. The third part is narrated not by the wife of the doctor. It is narrated by the storyteller. It is written in the third person. In the third part, it is said that Dr. Ohim's wife has been facing this problem for last few days. This thing happened, and in that particular morning, one accident occurred. That accident, which through the conversation, it was already described that Mr. Sankakati's son passed away. And Mr. Sankakati happens to be this doctor family's neighbor. So I am just cutting it short and coming to the last part, that is the fourth part, and that I have named it as a clock that was
What's that?
A clock that was stopped. By the way, the third part was named as Gorbhankor Sogatutti, which I have translated like is it a soliloquy or Hutadhar Boson, the narration of the narrator. Okay, the last part, again coming back to the first person narrator, the doctor's wife. It was late in the evening. I stayed for a long time at Sankakati's place, almost forgetting the time. I did not even look at the watch. I felt that my chest was still heavy, but my mind was light. I shared the grief of Mrs. Sankakoti by touching her quivering back with my firm hands. Did I try to console her, or I tried to lighten my own heavy heart by crying along with her for some time? It was already late hours in the evening. Even after asking them, Ohim and Nihar could not accompany me to visit the Sankakutis. Ohim had an important surgery. What should I say? Nihar had classes. After attending the classes and what, Nihar would return very tired and exhausted. None of them was ready to go to Mr. Sankakuti's home. What could I say? Having finished my classes in the afternoon, instead of returning home, I went directly to Sankakuti's place. Now I am about to enter my home and it is already late in the evening. My heart skipped a beat when I was about to open the gate. Why my house is drowned under a deep pool of darkness? What is the time? Am I too late? Ohim would not be around at this time. He must be stuck in some surgery. But Nihar must be present. She should be here. What happened? What is she doing in such darkness? Why had she not switched off any source of light? Why it is so dark? Nihar, where are you? I hurriedly entered our home. The door was kept ajar. It would open with a light push. Nihar, where is my Nihar? There was a sound of sobbing. I rushed immediately to find out the source of the sound. Nihar was found lying flat on her stomach on the bed and sobbing with certain intervals in between. I advanced slowly towards her and caressed her unruly curly hair. She continued to sob in the same manner. Her back was heaving up and down with her compulsive gasping. I put my hands on her back. What happened, my child? Then the intensity of her sniffles increased. She died, Ma, she died. Nihar hid her face in my lap. What's it, Madhuni? It's a very young child, Ma. Nihar again started sobbing vigorously, slowly, bursting into tears. She started telling. Her body was covered with blood. Her small body, her little body. Ma, she was hardly 5 years old. She was brought to our hospital, hiding her face on my lap with regular sniffles. Nihar continued to speak out the incident. Nihar was crying. Nihar was sobbing. The girl with high sensitivity and very early maturity was crying. It was really a rare sight to see Nihar crying these days. When did my Nihar cry like this for the last time? Who was the little 5-year-old girl who breathed her last in Nihar's hospital? From where did she come? How did it all happen? My child is crying on my lap. Oh, Ma, our professor rushed to see her. I was standing nearby. I was checking her pulse, holding her hand. I felt her pulse, Ma. I felt the pulse in the tiny little hand. And suddenly, it stopped. It ceased to vibrate just in front of everybody. It was in my hand, Ma. It stopped beating just in my hand. Our professor had a close look at her and started running here and there, and then I was caressing her hand, and I carefully opened her closed fist. There was an image of a flower drawn with a ball pen on her palm, a flower, and there was a watch drawn on her small wrist with blue ink, with a ball pen, ma. A wax painted with a ball pen. It was a wax, it was, and she stopped breathing. I hugged tightly the matured final year medical student who was habituated with the sight of death, who was used to the sight of blood, who studied and walked in a place where the death is a daily affair. Like a small little child, she curled up into my lap and continued to cry. An image of the innocent face of a demised girl of 5 whom I had never seen flashed before my eyes. The face that could no longer be seen by anybody. I closed my eyes. Drops of tears rolled down on my cheeks. Having hugged Nihar, I continued to sit in the dark. The lights of the house should have been, well, let it remain as it was. Let Ohim come. Ohim will reach home soon. Let him come. Let him switch on the light of our house. So thanks.
You are a big guy.
Thank you so much.
Next.
Thank you very much, Ratnotama,
Your
for a
story is a
wonderful
doctor's
presentation.
story. My father was a
Keeping
doctor,
the
I could
time
understand.
limit also. And now I will request Dr. Rita Malhotra, who is a well-known poet, translator, mathematician, and former principal, Kamala Nehru College, University of Delhi. She is a postdoctoral fellow in mathematics at the University of Paris. She has 16 published books, including one on literary essays to her credit. Her globally published writings also found place in the prestigious Stanford University Initiative Life in Quarantine. She is the National Science Talent Scholar and National Scholarship Awardee by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, besides the recipient of honor by the World Congress of Poets, the World Poetry Almanac Award, Mongolia, Distinguished Poet Award by Writers International Network Canada, the Vinati Banerjee Memorial Award, etc. Dr. Rita Malhotra.
Thank you so much. Just to start with, you are in Delhi University, and are you in Delhi University?
Yes, ma'am.
And I am retired professor, the young and the old together.
I was in Delhi University.
So you are in between.
I believe all the creative people are always young.
You are right.
Okay, thank you. So I begin with Jugalbandi in the Chitrakoot Falls. The inspiration came from Niagara Falls, but this is the Niagara of India. So this is Jugalbandi. Jugalbandi of emotions evoked in the thundering roar of deafening, seemingly destructive waters. Blue, green and silver relentlessly fall off the shoulders of the mesmerizing falls, speaking an extravagant language. Paradise descends on aqua green to bless the sun-washed rainbow. Another paradise rises in a spray of pristine mist, in rhythms oblivious to the powerful pace, the drumming beats of breathtaking cascades, a sight that beholds all senses in the Jugalbandi of thunder and silence. Beauty in power, power in beauty. Shiva's spectacular Tandava comes alive in Jugalbandi with Parvati's Lasya. Thoughts of the oneness of creation and the divine surge through fathomless depths of the Adbhuta, the Adbhuta Rasa. In an overriding sensation of ecstasy, time trots a furious pace, yet time stands still. Effervescence resonates through the soul, releasing it from illusions of suffering. both time and space experience that stupendous, the sublime in perfect Jugalbandi. Adbhuta in the cosmic canvas of nature, Adbhuta in the real yet surreal, as every moment discovers new creativity, new eternity, new infinities. Thank you, that was the first.
Very good.
And now I'm changing the mood a little, but this is one of my angry poems. It is called Leela is 16. A year limps
One
by.
minute, sorry. This song was Thunder and Silence.
This was Jugalbandi.
Jugalbandi, right.
Yeah. So now it's Leela is 16. A year limps by in nano steps as Leela, the widow, remains a prisoner in the messy, confined core of everyday struggle, carrying the burden of invaded virginity and ostracization. Leela, the widow, turns 16 today in a faded white attire. The customary tears dried up long ago when destiny deceived. Dazed emotions lost color through sinking sensations on the painfully pious bridal night when her glass-shattering shrieks broke the consciousness of the unity of her being. When oozing red spread its slow tentacles to engulf the fragments of kaleidoscopic glass bangles, her dream bangles, Leela the widow turned 16 today. As the candle of life burns at both ends, Leela continues to remain the distorted face of tragedy. Her silence has no secrets. Monsoons do not sing. Broken stories pile up into heaps of abuse and abandon as Leela, the widow, turns 16 today. Thank you.
Fantastic. I will tell her. Please.
Thank you so much. I think I have the other side of Leela also. I mean the women's empowerment, but I think I'll read a nature poem.
This is your last.
This is, as you say, no problem.
No, please.
Just, you must not let me overshoot 10 minutes.
No
problem. The soul discovers its eternity. In continuous thoughts, the mind becomes an opaque screen, imprisoned in the world of shapes, of forms. Else, it is engaged in the consciousness of the unmanifested, the beyond. But in walking with nature, my mind honors that rapturous realm absorbed to the brim, leaving no space for its mental habit of labeling. A tranquil wave of freedom sweeps over me. Stillness echoes laughter of the winds. Silence screams ecstasy to the grace of mighty mountains. In a glorious burst of white, the sun-kissing peaks reflect expressive colors. The mind's eye moves across a compelling canvas to suit its parameters of art and beauty. The walk with nature continues. In the immeasurable infinite umbrella of blue, the upward gaze connects with diverse philosophical strands. The silent core of the being discovers romance in penning these lines and bows its head to the elements earth, water, air, fire, and space, symbols of birth, rebirth, life, death, nostalgia, and joy. The soul, in its metaphorical journey of love, discovers its own eternity. That was nature. I don't know whether there's time, but the last
I had written one article on women's empowerment.
Yeah, I have spoken for University Orissa on poetry empowering. So maybe this is empowering the woman's, not empowerment, it's self-discovery, which takes you to the path of wisdom. So that's the last poem. It's called Towards Infinity. On black canvas, larger and deeper than its geometric measure, she lights the stars one by one. Paths of light and dark cross in much more than Kant's perceptions of time and space. On canvas, in her journey of self-discovery through absent colors of love, realization dawns that time will not change its habits. She splashes the black patches with golden hues as her mind lights the pyre of now dry memories. Dark now emerges as a source of light. On the illuminated canvas, she recreates the cosmic scape of nature. She joins broken pieces of the horizon to obstruct the reckless, volatile, celestial forces from crucifying Earth's flesh. On the lighted canvas, she embarks upon a journey to the absolute, seeking salvation from the cycle of birth and rebirth. In her sublime union with transcendence, she crosses eternity, seeking redemption, seeking moksha. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rita Malhotra ji. May I request Sri Rabindra Bhavan ji for his Punjabi poems along with his English translation. He is a noted poet and translator of Punjabi, Hindi and English languages. He has more than 55 published books to his credit in these languages. His book Vedan Kahi Kis is included in the syllabus of the Punjabi department, Delhi University, and mentions his unique poems in many Al-Quran books. He has also translated the poems of many reputed poets of the country. He has been honored by the Punjabi Akademi Delhi for his poetry book Mahasafar. Sri Rabindra Bhavan.
Patriarchy is.
Basically, I am Punjabi poet, and almost all the books I have translated in Hindi and English. And my friend Dr. Manjeet Singh, he has given many बहुत सारे जो हैं किताबों के लिए जो चर्चा में आते हैं वो इन्होंने बहुत कुछ दिया है। तो ये मेरे साथ ही आए हैं। दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में ये फॉर्मर हेड ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट थे। अच्छा, मैं अपनी जो कविता है वो दो मैं आपको हिंदी में और एक आध आपको इंग्लिश में कराऊँ, पंजाबी में। फर्स्ट पोएम मेरी जो है वो है कतरा कतरा। आसान नहीं है कविता का लिखना, आसान नहीं है कविता का लिखना, तब जब कवि की शानो शौकत की परछाई, जब कवि की शानो शौकत की परछाई बड़ी हो जाए और कविता की हैसियत उसकी नज़र में बौनी नजर आने लगे। आसान नहीं है कविता का लिखना, तब जब कोई शख्स आपकी नज़र से धीरे धीरे गिरता जाए, विश्वास का जनाजा निकलता जाए और आप उस विश्वास के काले समुंदर में तैरने के लिए बाध्य हो जाए, तब आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना। आसान नहीं है कविता का लिखना, तब जब आपके लगाए पौधों पर ममता के फूल कम और नफरत के कांटे ज्यादा उग जाए। आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना, तब जब आपके लगाए पौधों पर ममता के फूल कम और नफरत के कांटे ज्यादा उग आए और आपकी सांसों में चुभने लगे, तब आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना। आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना, तब जब आपके घर के दरवाजे और खिड़कियां किसी और के लिए खुलने लग जाए। आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना तब जब आपके घर के दरवाजे और खिड़कियां किसी और के लिए खुलने लग जाएं और हवा आपका मजाक उड़ाए लग जाए, तब आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना। आसान नहीं कविता का लिखना तब जब आपकी आंखों में बसे प्रेम के संकेत, जब आपकी आंखों में बसे प्रेम के संकेत आपसी भाईचारा मेल मिलाप सिर्फ रस्म बनकर रह जाए। आसान नहीं होता तब कविता का लिखना। आसान नहीं है कविता का लिखना तब जब आपने सपनों के महल को उसारने के लिए खुद ही ढूंढना पड़े अपने कंधों पर अपनी आशाओं को और खुद ही भरना पड़े पत्थर और ईंट, तब आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना। आसान नहीं है कविता का लिखना तब जब आपकी पलकें आपके आंसुओं का बोझ उठा न सके। आसान नहीं होता है कविता का लिखना जब आपकी पलकें आपके आंसुओं का बोझ उठा न सकें और कतरा कतरा आंख का पानी जमीन में दफन होता जाए, और कतरा कतरा आंख का पानी जमीन में दफन होता जाए और आप कुछ भी ना कर सकें। आसान नहीं है कविता का लिखना तब जब आपकी नजरों में ठहरे दृश्य आयु से पहले ही बूढ़े हो जाएं। आसान नहीं है कविता का लिखना तब जब आपकी नजरों में ठहरे दृश्य आयु से पहले ही बूढ़े हो जाएं और भीतर के जख्म नसूर बनते जाएं, जुबान लड़खाने लग जाए, जुबान से शब्द तो निकले परंतु उनको अर्थ न मिले। आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना। आसान नहीं होता तब कविता का लिखना तब जब जिंदगी के आम रास्ते दलदल में बदल जाएं और आपको उस दलदल में से निकलना पड़े मजबूरी में। आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना। आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना तब जब आपके चारों ओर भीड़ ही भीड़ हो। आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना तब जब आपके चारों ओर भीड़ ही भीड़ हो, सर ही सर हो, लेकिन आपका सर उस भीड़ में से गायब हो। जब आपका सर उस भीड़ में से गायब हो तब आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना। आसान नहीं है कविता का लिखना तब जब कवि की शानो शौकत की परछाई बड़ी हो जाए और कविता की हैसियत उसकी नज़र में बौनी हो जाए, तब आसान नहीं होता कविता का लिखना।
ये टाइटल क्या था इसका?
कतरा कतरा
कतरा।
बूंद बूंद भी कैसे। दूसरी नज़म है प्रेम की पहली कविता। प्रेम की पहली कविता शब्दहीन कविता। प्रेम की पहली कविता शब्दहीन कविता, सांसों ने लिखी सांसों ने गाई, आंखों ने लिखी एहसासों ने गाई। प्रेम की कविता जीवन की कविता। प्रेम की कविता निरशब्द कविता, निर्वस्त्र कविता, निश्चल कविता, निष्कपट कविता, निर्प्रदर्शित कविता, सरल स्वाभाविक कविता, अनघड़त कविता, अप्रकाशित कविता, उत्कृष्ट कविता, नारी सौंदर्य की कविता। नारी सौंदर्य की कविता, नारी संवेदना की कविता, स्त्री समग्रता, स्त्री चेतना की कविता। आदम ने गाई नारी के प्रथम अस्तित्व की कविता। आदम ने गाई नारी के प्रथम अस्तित्व की कविता, नारी के पहले स्पर्श की कविता, पहली नजर के पहले आलिंगन की कविता, कामना से प्यार में बदलती कविता। एक नारी के आकर्षण ने अचानक जन्म लिया, एक बदलाव आया दोनों की मानसिकता में, और ये बदलाव दोनों ने स्वीकार कर लिया कविता। कविता उस समय ही वजूद में आ गई थी जब कोमल पत्तियां फूल बन गई थी, हवा हवा के संग कुलांचे भरने लगी थी, एक नई रचना की पहली कल्पना के साकार की कविता। प्रेम का फल प्रेम जीवन में बदल गया और जीव के स्वाद में आया था अचानक बदलाव। बाल अवस्था यौवन अवस्था में बदल गया, एक नारी की पहली हया पहली कविता होगी। एक नारी की पहली हजा पहली कविता होगी। एक कशिश आई और दो चीजों को एक कर दी। ब्रह्मांड में बहती धारा ने ये एहसास तो करा ही दिया था। ब्रह्मांड में बहती धारा ने ये एहसास करा ही दिया था कि स्त्री सौंदर्य प्रकृति की सुंदरता ही तो है, कि स्त्री सौंदर्य प्रकृति की सौंदर्य ही तो है। कविता उस सदी वजूद में आ गई थी जब समय की सुई धड़कने बनकर हिलने डुलने लग गई थी भीतर, और स्वर्ग की हवा अपने पैरों पर नाचने लगी थी। हर नृत्य की झलक पर एक नई कविता आई। ऋतुओं का आरंभ हुआ और ऋतु ने अपना पूर्ण आकार ग्रहण कर लिया। कविता उस समय भी वजूद में आ गई थी। कविता उस समय भी वजूद में आ गई थी जब सांसों ने पहला आलाप लिया। प्यार की पहली शनाई अंदर ही अंदर सुर पटकने लगी। मायावी नृत्य लुप्त हो गया और एक नारी नृत्य मन में करवटें बदलने लगा। कविता तो आ गई थी भावपूर्ण कविता। कविता तो आ गई थी भावपूर्ण कविता, विचारों के साथ कविता, संकेतक कविता, अलंकारित कविता, दृश्यों के साथ कविता, प्यार में भरी हुई। बस उन्हें शब्द मिलते थे, बस उन्हें शब्द मिलते थे। ये इंग्लिश की बहुत एक सुना देता हूँ।
इंग्लिश
ये एक पैराग्राफ है वैसे ही।
कोई क्या नाम, टाइटल क्या है?
इसका टाइटल बाद में बताता हूँ। अभी Some promises are always unbroken. Some promises are always unbroken. Some memories are always unwritten. Feel the magic of true relationship, and you will feel that real feelings are always unspoken. इस नज़्म का नाम है Why do I write? Why do I write? I think many times, why do I write? I think many times, why do I write? While to the silence dwelling in your eyes, can't understand. To the dumb words of your books, I can't give voice, and to the secrets of your seasonal song, I can put into my words. I think many times. I think many times, why do I write when on your soul there is no cover? I think many times, why do I write when on your soul there is no cover, but still incomprehensible is every part of you. In your eyes there is no view, even then in many eyes of many scenes confusion happens. And on your trees birds and birds are there, storms do not affect them. And on your trees birds and birds are there, storms do not affect them. And in the darkness whose eyes are not becoming blind, there is no restlessness in sleep, but they in awakeness see many dreams. I think many times, why do I write when the letters of the land are safe in the sky and your words are safe in the books?
इससे पहले वाली लाइन क्या थी? Saved in the sky.
Oh,
क्या चीज़ था? Saved in
should I summarize?
अच्छा अच्छा when the letters of the land are safe in the sky.
Safe.
I will summarize, then I will do.
Thank you very much, Rabindra Bhavan ji. Probably I request Sri Sangram Mishra ji for his concluding remarks and his poems also. Sri Sangram Mishra.
I will first give my summary what I had. Thereafter I will read one or two poems of mine. They are in English. If you want, I can read one Odia poetry and translate it along with that. Now I go back to the story of Ratnottama. This story, what I have understood on this, is a psychological story. It is a psychological story of a doctor. How a doctor treats the patients and he carries it home. My father was a doctor, I have said. He will come from the hospital, he will discuss, I treated this patient, I treated that patient become alright, that patient died. And sometimes they become very happy when the patient is cured and very unhappy when the patient dies. This is a question with symbols. A husband and wife, a narrative, I think by a third person ongoing, and see how this lady, I'm starting from your last one first. So how this lady is becoming a little perturbed about the what's her name is? Nilima. Nihar. What is this thing? Nihar. How what happens? How this lady comes, sobs, lying on the floor, and because she saw somebody dead, that is in hospital. And doctors are like this. A sincere doctor I have seen, they always carry the patient's story to the house and they are emotionally attached. So these stories one, if has to understand, has to go deep into it. Deep into the psychology of a doctor's family. A person you like so much, when somebody comes, why the house is dark. If somebody dies, which is unknown or known otherwise, or your neighbor, so then that happens. So this is a doctor's story. Then the same story is carried like oscillating pendulum, dusty time, then cloud that has stopped. It is in a way or other explains the same thing, the intricate relationship between the husband and wife. The same thing, and she tells why the motorbike was given to the, it becomes a vicarious responsibility. You cannot give your motorbike to somebody or your pistol to somebody else. Out of our affection, sometimes you forget our responsibility. So these are the things, very nicely these things she has explained, and very nicely, small, the story must be big, you must have made it succinct, and very nicely she has presented the deep feelings. It reminds me like the Sherlock Holmes stories. Sherlock Holmes stories, in all English stories of this same year, they will tell we went, that it is written, Sherlock Holmes went, this person was sitting, his these things was torn. Every small details are there in English novels. And a little part of his hair was grey, something. So she has narrated in the similar fashion. Being young is very, unless until you have a deep observation, you cannot. So I wish her good luck, congratulate her. I think keep on writing and you will do well. Second, I am coming to Malhotra ji. I identify with her. I am a feminist. I am a feminist. I have fought for the ladies' causes. I will tell you a small story. I will not take much time. It is a real story. I was the Principal Secretary, Public Grievance and General Administration Department. you know Puri, there is a Konark, you must be knowing, there is a Marine Drive. So I was receiving all the letters by myself. So what happened? One letter came. There was a rape and murder of a blind girl, and his father was a rickshaw puller. I saw it. Then I immediately asked the SP, wrote a letter. Understood? That immediately apprehended this people. Nothing happens. Then after 3-4 days again another letter comes from the father. That these people came to our house, threatened, unless until you take back, like movies. Take back the case, we will do. Again another letter. Then nothing happened. Third letter came. Third letter came that they came to my house, they told that unless until you take back the case, we will kill you. Then my blood boiled. I told, letter is all right. I told Lagavas, because I will not tell his name. Young IPS officer. I told, look here, this is 11 o'clock. If by tomorrow 11 o'clock they are not arrested and put, I will take the stars of yours. I will inform. I'll talk to Home Secretary, I'll talk to the Chief Minister. Take your stars. 2 hours, they are inside. So being a worshipper of Mother Goddess and I am a feminist. And all through in my career I have taken women's cause. And I am very ferocious. So you have taken up there. First I will come to, second is your story. I will start from your second one. Then you come to Jugalbandi. First is soul discovers eternity. Leela 16 years widow. How beautifully you have portrayed. A young lady becomes widow at 16 years. You see the kind of flight predicaments of that person. The kind of things she has to undergo through. The cruel, cruel world. That beautifully you have written. Woman is not a commodity. So I had written one article in my newspaper, the Panoramic Viewpoint. I told that women's empowerment, women's security and women's emancipation. And some of the retired IAS officers, ladies, they congratulated me. Sangram, I have told you one thing. I told, I have gone to the fields. Lady Sarpanch, tumne bana diya, you have done it by women's empowerment. But I saw whatever her husband tells is sons and dotted lines. So they have to be emancipation free from the patriarchy. Unless until this emancipation happens, how it happens I have written, by social awakening, vagera, vagera, I will not tell, it will take a lot of time. So, they have to be emancipated. That's the reason a widow becoming in 16 years and the plight she faces through. And beautifully Ritaji has done it. And then, silence screams ecstasy. Beautiful words you have written. Towards infinity. Time will not change journey to habits absolute. Beautiful one. There are 2 things in poetry. One is your language. Language is also required in English. And a soul. I had an argument with a Odia poet. I will not name him again. He told that the poet has not got any responsibility toward the society. I told no. He is senior to me, he is an IAS officer. I don't know. A poet who doesn't have a responsibility toward society is a parasite. And a parasite has got no right to live. When he was very unhappy, I told no, you be happy with me, you are unhappy with me. But whatever I have told, the poet has got a role to play, to transform the society in a positive manner, in creating the awakening. Achha, then I will come your this thing. I like the Jugalbandi. Recently, I had gone to Mussoorie for our 85 batch IAS officers get together. I had gone to Kempty Falls. Then 2 days back, I saw there is a heavy rainfall in Mussoorie. Kempty Fall is in serious, in a destructive mode. So you have seen, we call it Bhim Kant. Jo Bhim matlab destructive, atrocious. Kant is Sundar. You have seen this Jugalbandi. That is, it is sublime. The sublimity, serenity, and at the same time, ferocious. How you look at it. she has explained Jugalbandi, thunder and silence. This is how it goes. And beautifully she has portrayed. That is beautiful, that is also very destructive. That is nature. And one has to understand the nature. Then I think I will go to Rabindra ji. Your mastery over Hindi is very good. I also write in Hindi, but sometimes gender problem हो जाता है. किसका which one to make pulling, which one to make striling, I forget. Then I saw a dictionary that anything ending with ta is striling. Baat, mulaqat. Anyway, you have written very good things. Difficult in writing. What hinders good writing? When you see that सर भेड़ में गायब हो जाए. I had read one beautiful poetry of Pritish Nandi, a stranger called I. Beautifully has written. Even Ravi Thakur has written something. Stranger called I. When you become a stranger, I have written a poem, Lonely Crowd. In the crowd you are lonely. You are there in the crowd and everything is that, but you are lonely. So that also deters you from writing. Your expression is a powerful expression of powerful feelings. If that is not there, that hinders. Beautifully you have, it's a very big point, and you have written. What are the points which hinders you? जब से सर से आंसू नीचे गिर के दफन हो जाए, कफन हो जाए. बहुत बढ़िया. You know, that is the thing. उसमें कि बोलते हैं ना, why he can't, why people become in happiness and these things, they become dumb. That is the beautiful things. Then another things. You know, you have written Sabdhin Kavita. I have also written Nistabdata in Odia I'll you know, in a one get-together of boys and girls, it was written that a prize will be given, how you will express your love to a girl or a girl to a boy. You know who got the prize? 0 words. 0 words. Love is transmitted through eyes. I love you बोलने का जरूरत नहीं. You don't have to do I love you somebody. You know, all I have written in that poem, all the inner feeling, greater feeling of life are silenced. Growth, आदमी बहुत कुछ सोचता है, चुप हो जाता है.
In love story, Eric Segal, both of them they love each other, but I love you word, there was words are not.
No, that was a psychological experiment. With how many words you will express your love? Nothing. You know, the greater feelings of a human being, anger, destruction, all silence, love. So, the word of the heart is also silent. It silently beats. So beautifully you have written, Sabdhin Kavita, to express love, no language. To express your feelings, no language. That is called non-verbal communications. Then promises unbroken. Real feelings are unspoken. I have written that also. I think some similarity. Real feelings are never. My book's name is Unsung Verses, which has been translated into French, Spanish and Norwegian. Unsung verses. It is not, has to be told. It is not expressed that way. And so beautifully Sabdhin Kavita, promises unbroken, and the word real feeling unspoken. Beautiful. और एक मैं शायरी बताऊंगा. आपने बताया ना, आप शहर में जो अकेले आप हैं, तुम शहरे मोहब्बत कहते हो, हम जान बचा के आए हैं. तुम सहरे मोहब्बत कहते हो, हम जान बचा के आए हैं। मैं थोड़ा तब्दीली कर रहा हूँ। दैट इज जगजीत सिंह का गजल। पत्थर सनम, पत्थर लोग, पत्थर दिल से टकराए हैं, तुम सहरे मोहब्बत कहते हो, हम जान बचा के आए हैं। वो पत्थर खुदा बोलता है, मैं नहीं बोलता, उसको तब्दीली कर दिया। तो नाउ दिस वाज ए ब्यूटीफुल थिंग्स and everybody was excellent in her presentation, and you are in stories, master in psychological observations. She is beautiful with the language and this thing, and you have gone deep into the art. जहाँ सर निकल के दफन न हो जाए, कफन न हो जाए। तो now I will read one or two my poems.
आपसे इंस्पायर होके आई हैव टू शेयर समथिंग। आई एम रिटायर्ड सुपरएनुएटेड, 6 साल हो गए। सो यू कैन इमेजिन माई एज। आफ्टर माई मैरिज आई फॉट विथ माई पेरेंट्स, माई इन लॉज, एंड आई अडॉप्टेड अ गर्ल चाइल्ड। एंड
Girl child.
I said I will not go for a child unless and so you see वो जो आपने जो
I am also I am also superannuated. Though I don't look like
you
that.
don't look like it.
Yes, I am superannuated. So I will tell one or two of my poems. One I will speak in English. That's English poetry. Satisfaction. The rain asked me for heat. The scorching sun asked me for humidity. The sky asked for scantiness, and the meadows asked me to bestow enormity. I kept quiet. My silence was my answer, because I had nothing else to give sans my satisfaction. कुछ देने के लिए मेरे पास नहीं था, except my satisfaction. They asked what they lacked. And another poem, the voyage. Motion is the first message of life. That is the symptom of life. Resistance is the first indication of a fight. Silence is the initial symptom of an imminent storm. Sieging is the first sign of war. Going all out indicates a victory. Persistence writes a success story. Perseverance takes nearer to the goal. With a little patience, the winner wins it all. Triumph is achieved with determination. A mind is controlled with focused attention. Nothing is impossible for a daring heart. Victory is achieved with a passionate start. Odia में I will tell that these things, they have attached to Odia. I will translate it. आखिरे आखी को आखी देखनेला परे सबु निस्तब्ध. When you see eye to eye, everything is silent. तार किंतु भयंकर विस्फोरण, तंटी फटाई गर्जिबा ठारू सहस्र गुण. But it has got an explosion. You shout at your maximum decibel of the sound, but it is louder than that. ସବୁ ହଠାତ୍ ନିସ୍ତବ୍ଧ ହୋଇଗଲେ ସତେ ଯେମିତି ଆଶଙ୍କା ସବୁ ଫୁସଫାସ ହୁଅନ୍ତି। When everything becomes quiet, apprehensions they whisper. ଅହେତୁକ ସମ୍ଭାବନାରେ with apprehensions of unknown. ଆଉ ସମୟ ସବୁ ଆଣବିକ ବିସ୍ଫୋରଣ ଶବ୍ଦରେ ଫାଟି ପଡ଼ନ୍ତି। Time explodes with nuclear explosions. କିଏ କହେ ନିସ୍ତବ୍ଧତାର ଭାଷା ନାହିଁ? Who tells silence doesn't have words? प्रेमो क्रोधो निराशा अवलुप्ति सबुर भाषा तो निशब्दता. लव, एंगर, despondency, everything language is silence. अंतर भाषा निस्तब्ध निशब्द. The language of the heart is silent. प्रकाश है तो आशंका करेगी. Why there is so much of apprehension, resistance, hesitation to express it? Same prakriti परिप्रकाश मात्र. That is the manifestation of the nature. Hudaya tharu akasa, akasa to hudaya parjanta. From the heart to the sky, from sky to the heart. That's why we have put. Thanks a lot.
I am Bengali, so Uriya or Bengali and Assamese.
Thank you very much, Sujat Biswas Sarji.
Take 1 minute, just her story, no? My father was not a doctor, he was a bureaucrat, but he was an astrologer. Very, very fine astrologer. And everybody used to...
1 minute. Sujata is a Indian Postal Service officer of our batch, 85 batch. She is superannuated like me also.
So he was an astrologer. Even, you know, he was eminent astrologer. Sakuntala Devi visited Bhubaneswar. I am from Odisha. So she came to my house just to discuss astrology with my father in 1983. Before I joined service. I joined in 1985.
Sorry ma'am, who visited? Who visited in
Sakuntala Devi. Who famous, no?
I am a mathematician by the way.
So what I was telling is, my father, whenever somebody comes, he sees for free of cost, because he says it's a gift of God, so he should help people. Then but here that I don't know why. He used to discuss their entire problem with us after they go. So as a child, I heard lot of sad stories, lot of sadness. That he was very frank, and he used to discuss with my mother, and kids. So this has been, this impacted me tremendously. So now I realize this is bad. And you bring those things to home, or no, these are not good. Even when we face problems in office, we should not take them home, because the kids are there.
May I just supplement you? The teaching to us in academy, or we decide, never carry office to the home or home to the office. I never do that. Office mein ho gaya, I tell people on office I am S.K. Misra, Chief Secretary or otherwise. Outside I am S.K. Misra, simple sitter. Acha, one thing before. There is a scope for interaction if anybody wants to ask any question or anything, or you invite anybody to answer you, or I can answer also. Too late. Okay, now you can do it.
Thank you very much, sir, and Sujata ji also, and everybody. साहित्य अकादमी की तरफ से मैं आप सभी प्रतिभागियों का और हमारे जो श्रोता समूह हैं उनका हार्दिक धन्यवाद कहना चाहूँगा। सर ने कहा कि जितनी भावनाएं हैं उसके लिए सबसे अच्छी अभिव्यक्ति जो है वो मौन है, साइलेंस है, और उस मौन को अभिव्यक्ति देता है साहित्यकार, कवि, कथाकार, दूसरे लोग। तो इस तरह से जो हमारी यह सभा पत्ती है वो सबको प्रभावित करती ही है। इस तरह से आपका सहयोग हमेशा बना रहे, ये हम चाहेंगे। अगले 9 तारीख को हमारा एक कार्यक्रम है शाम के 5 बजे रविंद्र ठाकुर पर केंद्रित। आप सबसे अनुरोध होगा कि आप उस कार्यक्रम को भी जरूर अटेंड करें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। नमस्कार। आप सभी चाय पर आमंत्रित हैं।